what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, hello, welcome. My name is Delana. If you aren't subscribed already and you do like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. For those of you who have been to my channel before, you know that it is Wear Test Wednesday, so I do tutorials on Mondays, wear tests on Wednesdays, and then I just have fun and do whatever I want on Fridays. Today it is Wear Test Wednesday, and today I will be testing out the new, way hyped up Fenty Beauty Foundation. I have not worn this an entire day before, and I do know, however, the shade that I got is going to be too dark for me, so we're going to be doing some blending down the neck. But I also got a couple other products to go with it. I did get the Fenty Beauty highlighter in the shade Mean Money / Hustle Baby, and I got a little sample of the primer, the Fenty Beauty primer. This is supposed to be like a mattifying primer, so I don't know how well it's going to work on my skin. So I think I'm just going to wear the primer on half of my face just in case it does something with the foundation that isn't good, just because it's not really made for my skin since I have normal to dry skin. I'm just going to be wearing it on half of my face. So yeah. That's all I have from the Fenty line, other than the Fenty palette that I bought a while ago, which I have a tutorial on. In that video, I did 5 looks with the Fenty palettes. If you want to see that, I will link it down below. Alright, let's just jump into it. So I'm going to be looking up this product, and I'm just going to read the description of it and everything. And usually they have like application techniques and stuff like that, or tips. So let's see. Okay, so on Sephora.com, under the details section, it says that the coverage is medium, which is so funny because everyone's been freaking out about like, oh my gosh, this foundation is so full coverage. And I've played with this foundation. I already know that it's not full coverage. So it says that it's for sensitive, normal, dry, and combination skin, as well as oily, obviously, and that the finish is matte. Under the what it is, it says a soft matte longwear foundation with buildable medium to full coverage in a boundary breaking range of shades. What it does, it says finally the ultimate photo filter in foundation form. Born in 40 boundary breaking shades, Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation gives skin an instantly smooth, pore diffused, shine free finish that easily builds to medium to full coverage. The oil-free formula is made with climate-adaptive technology that's resistant to sweat and humidity and won't clog pores, so wherever you are, it's going to work on your skin. Best of all, this long-wearing, light-as-air texture is undetectable on the skin, so you always look like you. It says it's formulated without parabens and phthalates. Don't ask me. Then there's just a bunch of other stuff like quotes from Rihanna and blah blah blah. You guys can see that on the Sephora website if you want. I'm just going to go to the how to use section. It says the suggested use. Always shake before use to activate. Pro Filter rich pigments need a moment to dry down to their truest color, so when you're testing shades, remember to let the formula dry completely to find your perfect match. Deciding between 2 shades, try the lighter shade. Prep skin with Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer for best results. For full coverage, apply 1 or 2 pumps to the back of your hand using the full-bodied foundation blush dot product onto the center of your face and blend outward. Rihanna's tip for ultimate pore coverage, press brush into skin, roll off, and repeat. Artistry pro tip, be sure to moisturize skin before foundation application, which my skin is well moisturized right now, especially if your skin is dry, after moisturizing prep skin with Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer for best results. So it's saying to use the primer pretty much. It doesn't say if you have oily skin, it just says use the primer for best results. So I'm still only going to put it on half my face just to see how it works with the primer and without the primer, but yeah. So that was a very long description. I am going to be applying it with my Real Technique sponge today because I've just been doing that lately and it's what I want to do. So, you guys, I'm so proud of myself. I've had a very productive day. I didn't let myself sleep all day. I actually got up at a decent time. So here I'm just using the little sample. Got this sample from Sephora, and I'm just going to apply that to half of my face. And that's probably, I got it in my hair. Oh, Delana. The primer does very much feel like lotion, which I've heard every other person, like every other YouTuber that's tried this, say the exact same thing. So it's weird because it's like, it feels like lotion, so it feels like it's really hydrating, but then it's supposed to be like a matte foundation or a matte primer. Very interesting consistency for a primer. Not like any primer I've ever used before. Except the only one, honestly, that I can think is maybe similar to this would be the coconut smoothie primer, which is a very hydrating primer. So my skin actually feels really nice on this side. I just don't want it to mattify. Like, I've had things that feel really nice from the start and then they get really matte, and I don't like that. I don't want to have matte skin. I don't like the way that matte skin feels on me, so we shall see. Okay, so I got the shade 260, which I know is going to be too dark for me, so let's just see how this goes. I'm a little bit nervous about how dark this is going to be exactly. Yeah, oh my god, that's pretty dark. And it's supposed to dry down even darker. Ugh. So mad I got the wrong shade. But we will make it work. We're just going to be bronze goddesses today. So I have 2 pumps on the back of my hand right now, and like I said, I'm just going to start applying that with my Real Technique sponge. I think I'm going to do a pretty, like, I'm not going to go for a super full coverage. I might just try to do like a light wash since this foundation is so dark for me. Oh my gosh, look at how dark that is. I'm so fair. We should be able to like just brighten it up with our concealer a little bit, so it's making me miss being tan though. It's kind of nice. Oh my god, look at that next to my neck. Ugh, I really hope I can make this work. Definitely a very quick drying foundation, which is kind of hard to work with because like if it dries in one place, you can't move it, you know? Oh, since this foundation doesn't match me, it's just like, it's hard to get even. Okay, so now I'm going to take some under my eyes a little bit. I just cannot take myself seriously right now. I feel kind of like Donald Trump. Just less orange. Like, I'm like Superman right now. Going in with a 3rd pump, but this is not a reflection on the foundation. It's just that I got a shade that's too dark, so. Which this was given to me, so I cannot complain. It's just, it's like, golly, I just have to blend down my whole body. Ugh. Not cute. I hate this. I hate this so much. It'll be nice to be tan for a day though, you know? The light isn't reflecting off of me as much as it usually does. So weird. I'm so dark compared to what I normally am. Okay, so there's the foundation on. And actually for it not being my color, actually I need to blend a little bit more over here. It feels like I was able to get it really nice and even on this side, even with it not being my color, but on this side it's getting really patchy. I don't know if that has anything to do with the foundation or what. I mean, obviously it wouldn't be a problem if it just actually matched me, you know? Okay, that's better. I just put a little bit more product on and it evened it out. It does feel like it layers really nicely. Like, reminds me a lot of the Lancome Chant Idole foundation. Like the consistency and just the way that it dries down and stuff like that. It's like, it's a lot like Chant Idole, which I hope I'm saying that correctly. I think I am. But yeah, it reminds me a lot of that. Okay, so from prime side to unprimed side, this side definitely does feel like touching it, it feels a bit more hydrated, which is so funny because it's a mattifying primer. It has a really nice dry down. Like, I feel like it looks and feels like my skin, which is, of course, always what you want in your foundation. Just dries down so fast, it makes it kind of hard to blend, you know? That's my only complaint so far. It dries down so fast that it makes it hard to blend. But if the foundation matches you perfectly, that shouldn't usually be a problem. But if you're going for a really full coverage and you're trying to blend that full coverage out, even if the foundation matches you, it's still going to be a problem. So that's just, you know, kind of pick your poison thing. I mean, if this foundation wears just amazingly, like it just looks perfect almost all day, then definitely I would say the application would be worth it, but we will see. So I'm just gonna go and apply my NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer to try to brighten it up a little bit. And I'm just gonna go and apply the rest of my face. If I have any issues with like anything blending over it or anything like that, I'll hop back on camera and let you guys know what's going on and let you guys see what's happening. But if everything goes smoothly, then I'm just gonna go do that off camera and I will be right back. Okay, so I went and I applied the rest of my makeup. What do you guys think. This is the creative Christmas look that I created with the Morphe 39A palette, the Dare to Create palette. If you would like to see this look and how I created it, my tutorial will be up. Oh, it should be up already actually. So I will link that in the description below. But yeah, okay, so here is the foundation nice and up close. So I had some issues with fallout and stuff like that, so there are some areas where I couldn't get some of the red eyeshadow off, but I didn't want to keep buffing and buffing and buffing it because I didn't want to pick up that foundation since we are doing a wear test. So you may notice a little bit of like a few red dots like right here. My only complaint about this foundation so far, because actually I really do like it, is that it's not doing too hot for my pores. And I tried to do what like Rihanna's tip for like the pores smoothing or whatever, where you like press it in and roll it kind of, and it did not really help me at all. So I just feel like it's really enhancing like the texture around my pores and enhancing my pores in general, like on my nose and stuff like that, which pores are not a huge struggle for me. Like that's not usually a thing for me. So the fact that it's bringing that issue, I'm not too fond of that. That's my only complaint about it so far though, is that it just seems to enhance texture, especially pores and stuff like that. But everywhere else it looks really, really nice. It looks like my skin. I do have to say though, I do think that it applied, I mean I know that this isn't my shade and it's not going to look perfectly even, but I do think that it applied more evenly on the unprimed side than the primed side, surprisingly. Usually I'm always saying it's the other way around no matter what primer I'm using, but for this one, I do feel like I got it a lot smoother on the unprimed side than on the primed side, which I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but everything just looks a little bit more even and smoother on this side. Yeah, okay, so that's how I'm feeling so far. It's been about an hour and a half that I've been wearing it. Before I get off, I did want to apply, I'm not wearing any highlighter yet, so I'm going to move my bangs out of the way. I wanted to apply my Fenty highlighter on camera, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Again, I have the shade Mean Money / Hustle Baby. And with this highlighter, I think I'm just going to mix it together. So you have like the really shiny, like more metallic side, and then more of just like the satin side. So let me kind of swatch those two for you guys really quick. Oh, the satin side is like virtually nothing. It's a very, very natural sheen. And then the very metallic side, this might be a little too gold for me, but that's the metallic side. So that is Hustle Baby. And then Mean Money is right here. As you can see, it's a very natural shine. It actually looks pretty good on camera. But I think I'm just going to mix the two together and apply it to the tops of my cheekbones. So I have been using my Morphe R26 brush to apply my highlighter. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go back and forth like this and then tap off that excess. Just apply that right on the tops of my cheekbones. Oh, that looks really nice. Really nice, actually. I really like that. I was afraid it was going to be too like dark or too golden for me, but I think it actually looks pretty good. Especially since I'm wearing a foundation that's like 10 shades too dark for me. But wow, I mean just look at that. It's just like such a beautiful glow. Wow, I am thoroughly impressed. I'm going to take that down the center of my nose. So pretty. Oh my gosh, I feel like I barely have to use anything. And it's just like bam, it's there. And I've been into putting it on my chin recently, so I am going to put a little bit right here. Look at all that glow. I almost feel like I overdid it a little bit. Not usually like the strobing type, but here we are, aren't we? Okay, so that is that. Okay, so that is my first check-in. I will do another one in a few hours like usual, so I will see you all in a little bit. Alright guys, I'm here reporting to you for my second check-in, and I have to say I have pretty good news because my foundation looks literally exactly the same as when I first put it on, and it has been almost 6 hours? No. I want to say I applied it around 5 o'clock. So yeah, actually it has been over 6 hours. I mean, it looks literally... My cat is in the litter box right now. I mean, it looks literally exactly the same. I don't feel like it's like settled into my fine lines much, if at all. I don't think it settled at all. And I didn't even put any setting powder over here. I mean, it is such a long wearing foundation. So I'm super impressed so far. Let's see how it looks on my forehead. Oh, it actually looks pretty dang good on my forehead. I mean, girl, I got lines on my forehead. That's just the way that it is, okay? I don't feel like it's really moved, like, at all. I'm actually really, really impressed. For 6 hours of wear, I mean, yeah, like I said, the only thing that's really bothering me is the fact that it does seem to enhance my texture, like right in here. But honestly, for something that's so long wearing, like that's something that I'm willing to sacrifice because it's not that bad. It's not like you would look at it and be like, oh, a girl's got some texture, you know? Like they said, if you hydrate properly beforehand, it's not going to be that big of an issue. I am super, especially for this foundation, like not being my true shade and for it holding up and like not starting to get really patchy and stuff like that. I'm actually really impressed. I'm really liking it so far. So that's where we are right now, 6 hours in. I'll do another check-in probably in a couple hours or so. So I will see you guys then. Alright guys, so my eyeshadow is disintegrating, my lips are disintegrating, but my foundation is still going very strong. The only place that it's really started to wear off is around my chin, where I kind of have this little blemish. But that's like the only spot, like not even over my whole chin. And that's because I rest my hand on my chin and stuff like that a lot. Compared to other foundations, it has stayed really well, even on my chin, you know what I'm saying? So we are now about 9 hours into the day. Yeah, about 9 hours into the day. It is past 1 o'clock in the morning right now, and I applied this foundation around 4:30ish, so maybe like 8.5, 9 hours. We at least get an idea of how the foundation's going to move throughout the day and how it's going to last or continue to wear off, you know what I'm saying? And I have to say, it has not budged a centimeter. It still looks exactly the same. I mean, minus a few areas like on my chin where I've kind of been like touching my jaw and my chin a lot because I rest my hand on it and blah blah blah. But other than that, it's like it still looks exactly the same as how I first applied it, which is amazing. Like amazing. Even the places where I didn't like the way that it looked, it still looks exactly the same. Like, it's kind of incredible. It maybe has separated on my nose a little bit around this area, but even there, like usually I have a lot more redness peeking through around here, and I'm not seeing that with this foundation as much at all. So yeah, at this point, I'm not noticing much in terms of like the primed side and the unprimed side. Quite honestly, if anything, I feel that I like the unprimed side better. Now, the mattifying primer, I would say it's really not even that mattifying. I mean, look at all the shine and glow. I have the exact same glow on this side of my face as I do on the primed side of my face. So that being said, I don't think that the primer really does much. I mean, maybe it works wonders for people with oily skin. I don't have any oily skin, so I cannot vouch to that. But for me personally, it didn't really do anything. In fact, I do just like the overall appearance of the unprimed side better, so I will probably be wearing it without the foundation primer from this point forward. But I can tell you right now, I will definitely be wearing this foundation again. So I'm super excited about it. I really, really like it. And yeah, I am just so excited to have such a successful wear test today. It's just, you know, it's just exciting. It makes you feel good whenever products work really well. And especially like a complexion product. I don't know about you, but for me, my complexion is just, not that I have a lot of struggles with my complexion, but I take pride in how my complexion looks. And so to have a product that stays so well, it's just a confidence boost, you know? It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you don't have to worry about, like, oh my gosh, is my foundation creasing? How do I look? You know, blah, 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 blah. Throughout the day, you can just be confident that you know that everything's right where it should be. You know, minus the downside of it clinging to a little bit of texture around in here and enhancing pores a little bit more. But quite honestly, by the way that it's worn, the texture isn't so bad in here that I'm not willing to wear it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it's even something that can be fixed or even tolerated with a different application technique or using different primers or something like that. So yeah, I am super excited about this product, and I'm gonna go ahead and say get yourself some of this. Whether you have normal, dry, oily skin, as long as you take care of your skin and you're hydrating and everything and just treating your skin the way that it should be treated, you should be perfectly fine. Especially if you have normal to dry skin, you should be perfectly fine wearing this foundation. You shouldn't have any issues with it. Oily skin, I feel like this is going to be a miracle worker for you. So yeah, let me know if you have tried this foundation and what you think in the comments. I don't know, I'm just so excited right now. So that is it for today's wear test. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what products you'd like to see put to the test next, and I will see you all on Friday. Bye. So that is it for today's